This story is titled, After a Month in the Psychiatric Ward Recovering from a Breakdown She Caused, I Came Home to Find My Wife in Our Bed with My Boss. She laughed when she saw me and said, "You really thought you were hard to replace?" I didn't say a word, just turned around, walked out, and put the final phase of my plan into motion. She still doesn't know what I did, but everyone around her is vanishing. So picture this. I come home from a month in the psych ward, yeah, the actual psych ward, after a full-on breakdown that, surprise, she helped engineer. And by she, I mean my wife, the woman I used to think walked on water. The woman who once cried watching me build a bookshelf because I looked so capable. Turns out she was crying because she realized she was going to take half of everything one day and wouldn't need to lift a damn finger. Anyway, I'm discharged on a Thursday. I don't even tell her I'm coming home early. I wanted it to be a surprise. I had this twisted little dream that maybe she'd meet me at the door, crying, saying she was sorry, that she missed me, that she realized how much she needed me. Instead, I walk into our house, into our bedroom, and there they are. My wife, in bed, with my boss. Let that sink in. She didn't even flinch. She just looked up at me, naked under my sheets, with this bored, almost annoyed look on her face and said, "Oh, you're back early." Then she laughed, full-on cackled, and followed it up with, "You really thought you were hard to replace?" I didn't say a word. I didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't punch a wall or throw a lamp like some tragic movie husband. I just turned around, walked out the door, and put the final phase of my plan into motion. Because see, this wasn't the first betrayal. This wasn't even the worst of it. This was just the confirmation. Let me rewind for a second. About 6 months ago, I started unraveling. Not like, oh, I'm stressed unraveling. Like, I am not real, time is fake, and everything is screaming, unraveling. It came on slow. Insomnia, appetite gone, constant chest pain, memory lapses. But what finally cracked me was when I started seeing double and forgot how to get home from work one day. Turns out, living with someone who slowly convinces you that everything wrong in your life is your fault, that'll do it. That, plus gaslighting, emotional sabotage, and a constant stream of microcuts to the soul, like when she threw away my meds because they make you dull, or when she told her friends I was too fragile to join them at her birthday dinner, or when she convinced me I was overreacting after I caught her texting "I miss you" to her ex. The kicker? I found out later she was calling my boss, yep, the guy in my bed, telling him I was struggling and might need time off. Gave him the heads up that I was acting unstable. So guess who got put on unpaid leave for mental health recovery, just in time for her to claim I couldn't provide. Plot twist. I started recording things, screenshotting messages, printing emails, making copies of financial statements, saving receipts, hiding flash drives, everything. So while I was in that ward, forced to face myself in a mirror I didn't recognize, she thought she'd won. But I'd been playing the long game, and she doesn't know it yet, but everyone around her, they're about to vanish. One by one. The first 72 hours after I saw them together were the quietest days of my life. No phone calls, no texts, not even a let's talk message. She didn't even pretend to feel guilty. It's like she saw me walk in on her in our bed with my boss and thought, oh well, guess that's over. The audacity was cosmic, so I stayed with my cousin, slept on his futon next to his giant-ass lizard tank, ate his expired cereal, watched him play Fortnite and scream at 12-year-olds, and just plotted. Because here's the thing. You don't crawl out of a breakdown and return to your old life. You bury it. You burn the corpse. You get real quiet and start setting fires in other places. And I wasn't alone. My cousin, bless this chaotic gremlin, looked me dead in the face one morning while holding a bong shaped like a dragon and said, "You're not crazy, she's just that cruel." And that hit harder than my Lexapro ever could. Let me rewind again. Back when my leave of absence started, aka when my boss took her word over mine and told me to go rest up, I started noticing weird little things. Our joint savings dropping faster than expected. My passwords not working. One of my co-workers asking if I'd moved departments, which I had not. I pulled my credit report. New cards had been opened. In my name. I pulled security cam footage from our front porch cam. Guess who I saw picking up envelopes addressed to me and stuffing them in her tote bag? This woman had been actively laying the groundwork to financially and socially isolate me. But while I was getting better, I wasn't just journaling and doing therapy breathing exercises. I was building a network of allies. First, HR. I asked for a formal review of my personnel file. Turns out she'd been emailing my boss from my email, using saved credentials, subtly undermining me, concerned for my stability, worried about his erratic behavior. One even said, "I fear he might lash out at work." The kind of language that gets you fired without anyone ever saying it's because of your wife. Second, my tech guy friend, Marcus, found spyware on my laptop. Spyware. She'd been monitoring my keystrokes, watching me. Third, I called my bank, locked everything down, froze my credit, reported identity fraud. By the time I got discharged, I had a secure folder labeled just in case, with audio files, screen caps, copies of her fake emails, texts between her and my boss talking about me like I was a pawn in some sick little career move. Yeah, turns out she'd been using me to get close to him. He's an exec. She wanted a job. Real cozy. So when I walked out that door and left them tangled in our sheets, that wasn't defeat. That was checkmate pending. They think I'm broken, but I'm the quiet storm they never saw coming. And tomorrow? Tomorrow, her best friend is getting an anonymous Dropbox link. Her sister's next. Then his wife. I didn't set out for revenge. I set out for survival. Revenge is just the byproduct. So let's talk about the chain reaction. I sent the first Dropbox link at 7:46 a.m. to Lana, her best friend since middle school. They've got matching tattoos, drunk girls trip photos on Instagram, the whole sisters for life bit. I didn't even add a message. Just a link. Let the files speak. Screenshots, audio clips. One video where my wife is ranting about how I go soft like a toddler when I'm stressed, and how she was doing charity work staying married to that man-child. My personal favorite was the text where she described my panic attacks as emo cosplay. Lana opened it, read it, didn't respond. But 30 minutes later, my wife called me 10 times. Did I answer? Hell no. I was busy emailing the second link to my boss's wife. Yeah, his wife. Lovely woman. Met her at a company Christmas party once where she brought homemade cookies, and I thought, damn, she really grounds this dude? She deserves to know her husband's been rearranging guts in my marriage bed. Her reply? Just 2 words. Thank you. By noon, I'd gone full scorched earth. I dropped a USB drive in the anonymous tip box at HR with a cheerful little note. Employee misconduct. See Exhibits A through F. I texted my wife's sister, a literal pastor BTW, with a link and a pray on this. I even submitted a tip to a gossip page that covers local corporate drama. Sent them a blurry screenshot of my boss's car in my driveway and a cropped message that said, "You're so much better in bed than he ever was." Yeah, subtlety? Never heard of her. Meanwhile, my phone was melting down. Calls, texts, voicemails. What the hell is wrong with you? You're ruining everything. We can fix this. Just talk to me. But nothing, and I mean nothing, topped the voicemail from my boss. This man had the nerve to say, "I didn't know you were going to spiral like this. It's not professional, and it could hurt your future. LOL. Sir, you banged my wife in my bed after helping her sabotage my job, and now you're mad I told people? Make it make sense. Let me be clear. This wasn't just revenge. This was exposure. This was ripping the mask off and forcing them to look in the mirror. And the fallout? Lana posted a cryptic Instagram story with a black screen, and fake friends are worse than enemies. Boss's wife nuked his socials, unfollowed everyone, changed her profile pic to just the kids. My company put him on temporary leave pending investigation. My wife? Oh, she's spiraling. Mutual friends are ghosting her. Her sister won't return her calls. Even her mother, who always called me the boring one, texted me to ask if I was okay. And still, she has no idea what I've really done. The best part hasn't happened yet, because I'm not just tearing down her social world. I'm building mine. Without her, I knew she was going to show up eventually. That's just her vibe. Chaotic Disney villain energy. All crocodile tears and fake deep Instagram quotes about growth. But even I wasn't ready for how fast she tried to pivot. She showed up at my cousin's place, where I'd been crashing, wearing the same hoodie she stole from me like 2 years ago, knocked on the door holding a Starbucks cup, and this forced smile like we were in a rom-com and she was here to do the quirky, "I messed up" monologue. I didn't answer. My cousin did. She asked, "Is he here?" He deadpanned back. Physically, yeah. Emotionally? Nah, he moved out months ago. Legend. She tried everything. I made mistakes, but we can work through this. You're being so dramatic, this is just a bump in the road. You're hurting people, you know that? Oh, you mean like the way you and my boss hurt me? In my bed? While I was on suicide watch? No? Cool, cool, cool. She left when she realized I wasn't coming to the door. Slid a note under it like we're in some Jane Austen novella. I didn't read it. Threw it in the freezer next to the emergency vodka popsicles. But again, this was just her warm-up act. 2 days later, I get a message from our landlord. "Hey, your wife says you moved out and she's the sole leaseholder now. Can you confirm?" Oh, so she's playing that game now. I respond with a polite as hell email, CCing her, the landlord, and my lawyer. Included screenshots of the lease, in my name, proof of my rent payments, and a lil side note reminding her that subletting without authorization is a lease violation. Lawyer called it an attempted hijack. I call it adorable. That same afternoon, she posts a story on IG, "Taking space to heal. People are so quick to judge without knowing the truth. Girl, the truth is in 47 people's inboxes and a USB in HR's hands. But okay, sure, manifest that karma." Meanwhile, my boss hasn't been seen in the office for over a week. Rumor mill's spinning. Some say he's on sabbatical. Others say family emergency. Translation: his life is also in the dumpster and someone lit the match. His wife filed for divorce, like public record level fast. She emailed me to thank me again. Said she always had a weird feeling about him, but didn't know how deep it went. You gave me clarity, she wrote. Damn right I did. My cousin and I are now calling the whole saga Project Smokeout, because that's what it is. I didn't swing. I just pulled the fire alarm and let everyone choke on the truth. And while they're scrambling, guess where I am? Back at work. New department, new boss. Her old boss, actually. The one she told me never took her seriously because he was threatened by smart women. Turns out he's very pro-exposing cheaters and hated my ex-boss. He transferred me personally, bought me lunch and everything. So yeah, things are aligning, but she still doesn't know what's waiting for her next. Because I haven't even triggered the financial domino yet. Okay, South. Let's talk money. Specifically, hers. Or rather, the illusion of hers. See, while she was busy gallivanting around in my hoodies and humiliating me on every possible front, she forgot that marriage? Marriage is a paper trail, and I keep my receipts. Remember how she tried to get the landlord to boot me off the lease? Cute. Guess what else is in my name? The joint credit card, the utilities, the shared car lease. Know what's not in her name? Any of the automatic payments? So, I did what any freshly back from the ledge husband would do. Froze the joint account. Transferred the remaining funds into a separate account in my name. Canceled the credit card. Reported the suspicious charges she racked up while I was institutionalized. Because yes, she used my breakdown as a shopping spree window. Classy. The best part? She never updated her Venmo or Apple Pay. Still linked to that now-defunct joint card. So now she's out here trying to pay for cold brews and Ubers and getting declined in public. How do I know? Because people keep posting it. Lana, ex-bestie turned semi-ally, sent me a screen recording from a group chat. Apparently she tried to buy brunch for the girls, card got declined 3 times, and she tried to play it off like the machine was glitching. Lana's caption, "Hope your healing journey includes budgeting, babe." Meanwhile, my lawyer, aka Captain Salt, sent the initial separation proposal. It's airtight. We're not contesting the prenup. Oh no, we're enforcing it. Remember how she used my income and stability to qualify for that dream home loan she wanted? Yeah, the mortgage was never finalized because I never signed. Guess who can't afford the house now? And I filed a fraud report for the accounts she opened in my name while I was hospitalized. That means if she tries to apply for anything, instant denial. Thanks to her digital footprint and my very detailed folder labeled fraudulent activity. Wife, possibly evil. She's about to learn what financial exile looks like. Oh, and her fancy influencer ambitions? Not going great. The wellness brand she used to collab with dropped her. Quietly removed her from the ambassador list. One of them reached out to me, because yes, I made sure they got a link too, and said, "We don't condone this kind of behavior. Thank you for your honesty." You're welcome, Tiffany from social media marketing. So yeah, her little empire of passive-aggressive Insta quotes and faux feminist manipulation is crumbling. And me? I'm at peace. For the first time in what feels like years, I'm sleeping, eating actual food, laughing without faking it. My cousin and I have been fixing up his old deck, and I caught myself smiling for no reason the other day. Like an idiot. Like a man with no dead weight tied to his ankles. But I'm not done. Next is the public part. The one thing she really cares about. Her image. You'll see. She'll see. South. You know how every narcissist hits that oh shit moment where the mask starts to slip, but they still think they're holding it together? Yeah, that was this week. And let me tell you, it was delicious. So let's set the scene. I'm on lunch break at my new job, which, reminder, was her old boss's department, poetic as hell. Sitting outside with an iced coffee and actual peace in my bones when I get a notification. Instagram Live has started a live stream. I wasn't gonna click. I swear I wasn't. But curiosity is a vindictive little bitch, and I caved. She's crying. Not like single-tear aesthetic crying. Red-faced, streaked mascara. Puffy eyes crying. She's sitting in her car, phone at a weird angle, rambling about forgiveness and how people twist the truth when they're hurt. Then she says it. I've made mistakes, but I don't deserve to be villainized just because someone can't handle being left. You were caught raw-dogging my boss while I was in a psych ward. You didn't leave, you got exposed. But wait, she wasn't done. I really think social media is toxic. People are trying to ruin my life over things that are private. This isn't who I am, girl. That is exactly who you are. And now, 200+ people were in the comments. Some defending her, some dragging her, some dropping popcorn emojis like this was Love is Blind. Divorce edition. Then, the coup de grace. Someone in the comments said, "Didn't you cheat on your husband while he was hospitalized?" And she froze, like literal buffering face. Then she ended the live mid-sentence. I almost choked on my coffee. 10 minutes later, I start getting messages from mutual friends, ones who hadn't picked sides yet. Screenshots, texts, TikToks. Someone had clipped part of the live stream and overlaid it with screenshots from the Dropbox link I'd sent a week ago. It was already at 30,000 views. She was going viral, not influencer viral. Main character of the internet's wrath viral. And I was just sitting there, eating a chicken wrap. That night she tried to call, 10 times again. Then she texted, "You need to make a statement. You're making things worse. I know it was you. I'm losing everything because of your little tantrum." Okay, first of all, not a tantrum. It's called consequences. Second, she still doesn't know what's coming. Because remember that fake business she was trying to start? The LLC she opened using my SSN back when she didn't understand how taxes worked? Yeah, IRS knows now. I submitted an identity theft affidavit. And oh baby, the audit is pending. But wait, there's more. Her ex-best friend Lana messaged me last night. Said she's been getting messages from other ex-friends. Apparently this isn't her first time blowing up someone's life for her own gain. Just the first time it backfired this publicly. And now, she's alone. The followers are vanishing. Her influencer friends are ghosting her. Her job, one of those remote marketing consultant things she half-faked, is reevaluating her contract. The Beachbody wellness brand she worshipped dropped her like expired hummus. She's tweeting inspirational quotes about betrayal and fake people while her world burns around her. And she still thinks there's a way to spin this. But here's the kicker. She doesn't even know about the final nail. The one thing she truly cares about, her reputation in real life. Alright, so here it is. The finale, the last domino. The part she still didn't see coming because narcissists like her, they never believe the people they hurt will ever get smart, silent, and strategic. This wasn't rage, this was math. And I was done playing fair. So rewind. After her Instagram live imploded and the TikTok started flying, she hit DEFCON 1. I'm talking emotional terrorism in every format. Voice notes, private number calls, even a handwritten letter dropped off at my cousin's porch like we're in some Jane Austen gaslight fantasy. This is all spiraling because you won't move on. You're destroying my reputation out of spite. Please, for the love of God, stop. But see, I already had. I had moved on. From her. From the fantasy of who I thought she was. From the decade I spent trying to prove I was enough for someone who saw me as nothing more than a credit score with emotional support dog vibes. The difference was, she hadn't realized it yet. And then came the church retreat. Now look, I'm not religious, but she built her entire real-life persona on that sweet little Christian wife aesthetic. You know the type. Instagram full of coffee and Jesus mornings, prayer journals, and carefully staged pictures in front of stained glass. But the church girls, they talk. And more importantly, they forward emails. So I sent them a nice little PDF titled, "Since y'all love the truth so much, here's some." Inside, screenshots of her messages mocking women in her Bible study, laughing about playing the God card to keep people on her side, and full-on admitting she only attends church events to network emotionally and build clout. My personal favorite? Can't wait to lead the women's retreat this year so I can show them what a real marriage looks like. Babe, you were raw-dogging your husband's boss while he was having a nervous breakdown. 24 hours after the email, she got removed from the retreat committee. The church issued a vague realignment of leadership roles post on Facebook. Someone from the congregation, bless their petty soul, leaked the whole email to a local Facebook group called Suburban Sisters with receipts. Guess what happened next? She deactivated everything. Her Instagram, her TikTok, even her LinkedIn. Gone. Like she never existed. That night, I poured myself a whiskey, stood on my cousin's back porch, and watched the thunder roll in over the city skyline. The group chat with my friends was blowing up. People sending memes, TikToks. A few even said thank you for showing them that the nice girl mask was just a PR stunt. I didn't smile. I didn't feel triumphant. I just felt clean, like I'd finally scrubbed off 3 years of being told I was too sensitive, too unstable, too much. Here's the truth. I wasn't too much. I was just enough for the right people. She thought breaking me down would make me easier to control, but all it did was build a man with nothing left to lose. And now, she has nothing to leverage. No allies, no audience, no safety net. Just herself. And the echo of her own manipulation. I don't know where she is now. I don't care. I changed my number, signed a new lease, started therapy, bought a couch that I picked out for me. And when I close my eyes at night, it's quiet. No footsteps of a liar, no buzzing of a phone lit up with gaslighting, just stillness. So yeah, that's the story. She laughed when I walked in on her with my boss and said, "You really thought you were hard to replace?" Now she's the one who vanished. And me? I'm not better. I'm just free.